the third and last part of this series on Kidepo National Park, we walk to the top of the world in the savannah. And we give you information on what it might cost you to go to Kidepo. Plus, did you know that there are hot springs in this park too? Welcome. This does not take too much fitness, but experiencing the wild sometimes requires that you put on the right shoes, get out of the vehicle and walk. You are constantly with the armed ranger in any case. You will never tap into the real feeling of connection with nature unless you join and to some extent stay with it. Here we are climbing a little bit, and our goal was that resting point, a vantage point in the park on top of the rock where everything unfolds before you on all sides. This is as best as it gets. The hut you see there is the resting place when you do a climb. That is after a trail of about 15 kilometers. And when you're on top of here, of this rock, it feels like top of the world. Because as far as your eyes stretch in all directions, you see the plains of Kidepo. And you can spot the animals either eating or resting. But up here, you feel the breeze. You connect with the earth. It gives you the impression and the feeling that you are in the wild. It's having fun, but in connection with the wild. The trail we took us to another vantage point, and it is a former lodge, supposed to be a functional lodge now. But its story is unexplained. The Katurumo Lodge. Behind me is Katurumo Lodge. Every brick on this building is hewn from rock. You can say it is a stone building in the real sense of it. It is located in one of the best spots in Kidepo National Park, built around 1970s by former President of Uganda, Idi Amin. It has a capacity of, in terms of rooms, of more than 80. And if it is fixed, right now it's sort of in a waste. But if this was fixed, it would begin to solve the issue of accommodation that is greatly in need, or greatly needed in this national park. For now, it's another breathtaking vantage point, and one wishes it was operational.
Hospitality is a gap that Ugandans have not exploited. You go to many parks, you only find all the lodges owned by whites. There's only one African who's really at the forefront, a gentleman called Amos, that owns a lodge. The other lodges are charged in dollars, like this lodge here. They're charging $400 per night. It's a lot of money per head.
Kidepo too has hot springs.
This is the Kanangorok hot spring, and it's about 45 degrees hot. So this same water that after rain seeps down and meets the geothermal temperatures and changes to this. This is the only point with water around this area, and unfortunately animals can't drink this because it's hot, and when they drink, possibly they will die. But South Sudanese, who are neighboring this point, since we are close to the border, have a different belief on the formation of this. They don't believe on some temperatures down. For them, they believe one time when they didn't have water completely, when there was drought in their place, they sent, witch doctor sent some boys to Morungole. As they were passing around here, some rain came, lightning struck one of the guys who were carrying water and died around here, and then later it formed. So for them, they have a different belief.
Besides the attractions, accommodation is a key question for visitors. Kidepo has not fully caught up with the other parks.
In terms of accommodation, we have also tried to improve the accommodation, and we have another additional 4 concessions that are supposed to be putting up accommodation facilities so that we cater for the increasing number of visitors.
We have our bandas, which is about 41,000 shillings, that is non-self-contained. And for one person, if you are 2, you're occupying the same banda, you pay 72,000 shillings only. If you want to take the self-contained banda, as a single person, you pay 61,000 shillings. But if you are 2, you pay 72,000 shillings, which is a little bit affordable. Then when we come to camping, camping is only 15,000 shillings. Only 15,000 shillings, but that is if you have your own tent. If you don't have your tent, you can hire tents from here for about 15,000 shillings also. Or that will make about 30,000 shillings per night per person.
In fact, the biggest cost to you might be the fuel you put in your car and not the total aggregate park fees.
When you come to these protected areas, you only pay entry fee. That is only 15,000 shillings for the East Africans. And if you are inside here, we have the activities which I described to you earlier. And when you are taking this activity, like you have your own car and you are taking game drive, you as an East African citizen and a Ugandan, you pay only 20,000 shillings for the guide, but the foreigners pay about $20. Entry, you pay 15,000 shillings, a foreigner pays about $40. So we have really made these things affordable. We have the walk, nature walk. The nature walk, you only pay 10,000 shillings for the guide.
The options outside the bandas can be as easy as using a tent. With the tent option is the adventure feeling, but there shall be less privacy if you're the type who thrives on it all the time. To heighten the adventure is the real camping at the campsite, out there in the wild. It's worth trying. 3 years ago I did it here. I know that many people watched the encounters we had here and they felt like coming. I tell you, it does not leave you the same. When you come here and you camp at night, you sit around fireplaces like this one and you chat, something you don't usually do in town. It has a relaxing effect on you and leaves a lasting impression on you. And yet it does not affect you so much in terms of cost. It is something worth exploring. There is one thing we cannot share, however much our power of description will impress. The untouchable experience, which is the wild feeling, is compared to pregnancy. Unless you have been there, you can never understand it. We dare you to try.